Crude is not going to $300 a barrel. I don't care what strait they close.
Oh yeah,
somebody text you that?
Well, let's talk about it
Yeah.
because that's something that a lot of people are concerned about as far as the price of oil. With this potential situation escalating, we already said that. So I actually spoke to shout out to Blair, my connect in China, and she was saying like she doesn't think this will happen, but it could potentially happen. Even last time, where even China, there's shipments from China that go from China to New York. It goes through like Middle Eastern shipping routes, and last time it got crazy. They started hijacking ships, and it just wasn't safe. So they had to reroute from Middle East to Cape of Good Hope, South Africa.
Oh,
Which obviously what that does is that has a longer time frame, and that causes more money. So she said that she doesn't think that could happen, but it did happen before. There's a precedent for it happening. Not just China, a lot of places in the world. They had to reroute their shipping because it just got too dangerous to come through the Middle East. So they had to go all the way down.
Yeah. What's that additional like 2 or 3 weeks?
I'm not sure the exact time frame, but long story short, that's going to cause problems.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that could actually impact things on the real world. But the oil situation, they said 20% of the world's oil gets moved through there. Yemen, like I said, Yemen already said, and they've done this before. They've done this a few months ago. Trump had to. So the thing with Trump is that people don't know they attacked Yemen. It didn't work. It didn't work. That's why he had a treaty. Like, okay, look, just let our ships, don't mess with our ships, and they like, okay, we negotiated a deal, and they didn't tell Israel about that. Israel wasn't happy about that. So Yemen's like, we really don't have nothing to lose because Yemen's a very poor country. They don't have diplomatic ties with anybody. So they're like, us hijacking ships is not really that big of a deal. You trying to attack us. We're not like a traditional military type thing. It's hard. It's hard to fight that type of fight.
Yep.
So you don't know how to fight that fight. So they've threatened that already. So the price of oil, is this something to be concerned about?
Yes, but I think forgive me. I think it's being overhyped for it to go 300 a barrel, 220 a barrel. There are some safeguards in place that will prevent that. Like if you look historically at the chart, ticker USO, I think the all-time high is 958. If you look at the actual crude chart on Thinkorswim /CO, the all-time high is 147.27. It does not benefit any party for crude prices to go that high, because the last time crude were in the ranges of $100 a barrel and upward, it does put pressure on the economy, in addition to inflation being at an all-time high for our lifetime, not knowing when the Fed is going to adjust rates, weakening job market, AI decaying the job market in many careers that are unknown. It's another straw on a camel's back that is already broken, that does not need to be placed there. So I try and take the emotion out of it and look at the data. I think it's less than a 2% chance that we'll go to like $150 a barrel. Will there be some constraints? Will there be price increases eventually? Yes, but 150, 200, 300, no. The probability of that is very low.
How often, or maybe you don't at all, do you trade crude? I find it very difficult. You do though.
You have to have a wider stop given the erratic nature, and it's a great lesson too. I'm glad you brought this up. Every instrument that you trade has its own personality, so you have to adjust your entry and your exits based and your stop loss based on that. Crude and NASDAQ are like Tasmanian devils that are size of woolly mammoths. Like, it's a different beast, and when it's in your favor, one of the greatest feelings ever. But it's a very fast moving instrument, so you have to have a wider stop, especially on the futures market if you're going to trade it. That natural gas, the VIX, NASDAQ, you have to be careful with. The slower moving ones like bonds are easy. They're more even kill. S&P 500 is even kill, but like the German DAX, very volatile. So everything that you trade, you have to assess the personality of each and understand what your risk profile is going to be for whatever you're trading. And if you want to hear more gems like this, get your tickets to InvestFest. Red Panda, your code is in Telegram. If you miss it, so be it. You'll be entered into the raffle for the dinners and to meet Paul Judge. Maybe, who knows? No, you can't come with me to the dinners.
The new raffle.
Okay.
The deal room. Get your tickets to InvestFest.
The deal room. VIP Platinum, VIP, the deal room. The deal room.